and the Astrovan's gone. The Astrovan's gone. It was right here. It was right here in front of my cousin Danny's house, and I parked it over here so he could watch it while we were working on it. And now it's gone. And I know it's not the city because I'm friends with the Democratic Work Committee man. We went to grade school at St. Cornelius together. He said if I did extra electioneering hours, then I wouldn't have the city enforce parking on it and I could leave it there. So I know it's not him, but I think it's my cousin Danny's mom's deadbeat boyfriend Ronnie. He's one of these tow truck guys, Tone, and I know he took it. I know he took it now because he's been eyeing it for the last year and a half that I've had it, and it's been out here, okay, while we were working on it, so I gotta go find where it's at in one of these shady tow lots, basically pay these extortionists, and I already got so much money, sunk into the new exhaust manifold coming down from the junkyard in Wisconsin, and I just helped my Aunt Pat pay down her gambling debt, and I'm down to my last dime, Tone, and I don't know what to do, but at least I got these ads to read. Skillshare is an online learning platform where you can take thousands of classes from experts worldwide. You could go on a website there and find all kinds of classes for self-enrichment that would improve your skill set, be it personal or professional. I did whimsical watercolors with Kavita
Rajput,
and I learned how to make wonderful art. And the first 1,000 people to go use our code get a free month of Skillshare. Okay, take care, bye. Due to the parameters of our advertising agreement, here is an obligatory 15 seconds at the behest of our sponsor, further describing their product.
No.
Whimsical watercolors for beginners gave me a great basic understanding of techniques for watercolor painting and allowed me to make great greeting card quality art for friends and family. The class Whimsical Watercolors transported me to a world of peaceful quiet.
Okay, welcome to another episode of Crime Pays My Body Does. We're going to try and make this a short vid, but I said it about everything. You can see we're in a pretty tacky neighborhood filled with numerous McMansions and lawns, and we're here to film the last vestiges of a landscape that's soon disappearing right before our eyes, as well as one of the coolest quote-unquote air plants, that is the genus Tillandsia, that grows in South Texas, and it's quite rare, and it's growing right up there. This is Tillandsia baileyi, and you know, it's more common south of here in Mexico. We're only a few miles from the border, but you can see it's growing fine up there in the shade of this beautiful ebony tree. Now, as you can see, this is they're already starting to clear this land to build more tacky McMansions, and so this is all going to be gone soon. But let's focus on the Ebenopsis trees, the Texas ebonies. Okay, it's a member of the Mimosoid subfamily, the Pea family. You got those nitrogen-fixing bacteria in the roots. These, I've got growing a couple of these from seed. You can see these fruits are basically ready. You could harvest these, crack them open. The seeds are supposedly edible too. Then you might have to leach them or boil them down. But they do sprout pretty readily from seed. Maybe a little bit of scarification on those beans in there, those ebony beans. But when you got them growing from seedling, you can actually see the nodules that rhizobium bacteria need, because nitrogenase, the enzyme that turns atmospheric nitrogen into usable nitrogen, needs a low oxygen environment. So that's what those nodules do. They provide a low oxygen environment for that bacteria, and it's, you can see those little nodules on the roots of juvenile seedlings. See, there's what those ebony pods look like when you crack them open. You could boil those seeds, or you could just keep them, scarify them a little bit, and germinate them. Okay, but these are great trees, Ebenopsis. Wonderful fucking legume. You can see the leaflets are a little bit bigger than many of the other mimosoid legumes. Okay, they're a little bit wider. Over here, right next to this lot with the McMansion on it, we got a large guayacán. Okay, Guayacum angustifolia. They get this big down in Nuevo Leon, and in Mexico they got those purple flowers relative to creosote. Beautiful bark, but this is a massive bastard, probably quite a few hundred years old. This too will soon be gone to make way for more of these hideous culture slums that we're in. But appreciate it while it's here, and at least we're documenting it. So future generations, have a sense of what's been destroyed to make way for so much spiritually unfulfilling detritus and garbage. Am I being too mean? I'm gonna keep doing it because I really do hate this shit. It's a travesty. What amazing wonders of evolution get destroyed just to make way for shit that sucks anyway. And most of these people are probably miserable and on Prozac. to begin with. But anyway, there you go. Monster Guayacama angustifolia. In West Texas, they top out at about 3 or 4 feet tall. Again, purple flowers related to creosote, and very dense wood because they do grow incredibly slowly. So this is probably a 300-year-old tree. Here's another cool plant, okay, with more of those fascicled leaves, sessile fascicled leaves. This is what's known as snake eyes, and it's because the fruits right there, look at it, look like a little jelly, like a little jelly. You still got the calyx on there, like a little jelly snake for a bird. Okay, kind of looks like a fisheye or something. Pholothamnus spinescens, another caryophyllaceous bastard. That would be the Caryophyllales dungeon. I believe at one point this was lumped into the same family as Sambucus, but I might be full of shit too. Either way, whatever, Caryophyllales, and pretty great plant. Okay, pretty odd. But again, when it's not in fruit or flower, just more of that fascicled leaf shit you see down here in South Texas. It's convergent evolution. You know what's nice is I see in these are the work of termites. See how they create those little muddy straws around blades of grass and whatnot. So there's ample termite activity in the ground. Warms my heart to think of them ruining and slowly destroying the McMansions, the wood frames of the McMansions that will soon be here. Anyway, you can see why the Tillandsia is growing here. This is an old oxbow lake of the Rio Grande. Okay, it's an old resaca. All right, this is a dead end on either side, but at one point it was the river, maybe 400,000 years ago, who knows? But that's why, you also get tagged. There's probably Taxodium mucronatum, the Montezuma cypress around here too, at one point. But they've all since been lagged. We are pretty close to Brownsville. So anyway, you can see, look, they're gonna put a swimming pool and all that shit. See, your home's not complete unless you got a really nice lawn and a swimming pool and some fucking tacky comms with the lions on it out front. Yeah, you know what? I just walked around. There's not that many Tillandsias. We're gonna go to another spot nearby. There's one up there, but there were more at one point, but I think maybe they had somebody come by and clean them up because, they're going to develop this whole area. Got to cash in while you can, right? So, of course, the local culture down here doesn't seem to have any connection to this land at all. They kind of hate the local ecology. Just gets in the way, and it's got all these spines, and it makes a messy mess when, it drops a bunch of stuff on your lawn. Get rid of it. You got to hack it down. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Look at the topiary. Okay, but you need a big driveway to park your RV and your big fucking boat that you take out 3 times a year, and your giant pickup truck that never sees a day's worth of real work in its life. Okay, don't leave your house. Okay, and should you happen to see a neighbor checking a mail at the same time as you, make sure you avoid eye contact at all costs. Anything you can do to compare yourself, your net worth, to the person next to you, you got to do. All right, anything you can do, because remember, that's how we build our self-esteem, since we never developed a real personality. Okay, now before we go to the next spot where this plant grows, oh, that's terrible too. Look at that. More space than you'd ever need. You got like 2 kids. You got enough room for 15 people. Holy shit. The money it'll cost to fucking air condition that thing. Anyway, before we head to the next spot, we did find another little lot where we've got more Tillandsias growing. Now this will probably be bulldozed soon too, demolished for more of this, the tacky housing around here, these McMansions and what the shit. But you can get a really good idea of how this thing grows. Look at those elongated leaf blades. Okay, now Tillandsias, of course, are in the order of grasses. They're in Poales, all right? But they've had a rapid diversification throughout the neotropics. And of course, where we are, the latitude we're at here in South Texas, is considered subtropical. It's subtropical, seasonally dry thorn scrub. Okay, we're a little too close to the coast here to, I guess, consider it seasonally dry. But start going further west and you get into peyote country, star cactus territory, it does certainly start to dry out. But it's very humid here, and that's why these are thriving. Okay, because Tillandsia, the genus, has little trichomes, okay, little hairs, peltate trichomes on its leaf blades, and that's how it absorbs all its moisture. Roots are only facultative anchors in this genus. Okay, they're just working to anchor it to trees. These are the flowers you can see. Well, actually, the flowers are done. What you're looking at right there are the ovaries. Those are the fruits, the seed capsules. And when they do mature, they'll split open like yay, and there'll be a little seed with a feathery, plumose little dandelion ploof attached to it, which of course helps it be wind dispersed. And then it's so humid here that it'll just blow onto the next tree or a power line or whatever, and germinate in the humidity and with some rainfall, and then just get going. And the roots, of course, just help it anchor to the substrate, to whatever substrate it's growing on. So such an amazing plant. You know, I guess it's pretty common. See, there's some old, look, some old seeds. You could probably germinate though. I know a guy who used to germinate these. He was obsessed with the genus. He was breeding them because you get a lot of hummingbird pollinated members of this genus, and some really fucking huge ones down in Mexico. Okay, I've seen ones in Oaxaca growing up in trees. They got an inflorescence. This thing, it's not just, you know, what is that? 12 inches, it's 4 feet. It dangles down. It's got big red bracts on it to attract the hummers. Okay, just growing, you know, at 8,000 feet on the side of a mountain, dangling from a pine tree. Tillandsia is a really, really cool genus. We're talking C.A.M photosynthesis, crass-lacing acid metabolism. So a lot of Tillandsias take in their CO2 at night, store it, and then close up their stomata during the day because it's so hot. And they've got kind of like a closed system. Store their CO2 in the form of malic acid or malate, and then do the photosynthesis during the day, just like cacti and many succulents do. The C.A.M photosynthesis. CAMphotosyntheticErotica.com. So these should be these fruits should be ready. I don't know. What do you think? Probably a month, maybe 2 weeks. But again, this population is probably going to be gone soon to make way for you know, more of this crap. You know. It's just, I shit on the suburbs too much, do I? You know, and then if there's always some schmuck who's like, well, someone had to bulldoze for your house too. Always one of those fucking annoying turds in the comments section. I do get amused by it. But anyway, there you go, Tillandsia baileyi. We'll check out the new population, the other population, and we'll make our merry way. There's a seed germinating on another plant. You could actually take that, put it on a little screen, grow it on a window screen, you know, in like a humid little terrarium or something. It'd be fine. Or if you had the humidity in your outdoor environment. Oh, I love the subtle taste of the rock art outside. Oh, look at the flashing. Really, that really makes everything. You spent $500,000 to live in a home that looks like an Olive Garden. $500,000, that's probably $1.5 million. Oh, thank God. Glory be to God. This is a much more tolerable neighborhood we're at over there. Okay, a little bit more working class, a little bit more rough around the edges. You got some nice architecture, somewhat dilapidated. Got, looks like Sabal palms. Another endangered native from the region. Sabal mexicana. And right here we got we're at the northern range of Taxodium mucronatum, the same species that El Arbol del Tul, that giant bastard down by Oaxaca, is. And you could look up in those limbs and see all the Tillandsia. Now that's not just Tillandsia baileyi, that's also Tillandsia recurvata, but it's very healthy here. And again, we're on an old little canal. When we crawl through the brush right here, you'll see it, our old little resaca out of Rio Grande. Here's the maturing cones of Taxodium mucronatum, the Montezuma cypress. Looks a lot like the bald cypress that you get in Louisiana, the swamp cypress, except the cones are much smaller. This is the biggest they get. That's how they tend to top out at, like, you know, they look like little soccer balls. They top out at like a little bit bigger than a marble. But again, relatives of redwoods, Cupressaceae is the family, Taxodioid redwoods, and unlike the bald cypress, these trees never fully lose all their leaves. There's supposed to be coral snakes down here, so we should watch out a little bit. I'd love to see one of them. Let's come through. Oh, Malvaceae, a plant colloquially known as Turk's cap, but of course it's kind of a garbage common name. There's so many plants referred to as that. Cotton family. You can see those somewhat palmate leaves, red flowers, notorious calyx, almost looking like an epicalyx right there. See those bracts, all right? This, of course, another plant that's very common in Mexico, and usually you'll find it growing with the Taxodium mucronatum. And again, remember I said this plant is a relative of the redwoods. You could see that right here when you get up close. You look at that beautiful bark and those beautiful roots. Another distinction between Taxodium mucronatum and the bald cypress is that mucronatum does not form these. It's just got these kind of buttressed roots that help hold in the riverbanks. Now this does flood if you get a good rain. I was through here 6 months ago. There was water up to here. You couldn't walk across it, but anyway. So let's look up there, and you could just see, just covered in Tillandsia, covered in the quote-unquote air plants. Okay, doing very well. Look at those Look at those bastards. Look at those beautiful bastards. Oh, monstrous roots. These trees can get upwards of 40 feet across, I shit you not. You look up El Arbol del Tul down there by Oaxaca. It's a tourist attraction. They grow very fast, too. Is that a piece of human shit? I don't know, maybe. All right, power to you, brother. But again, what we're here for is these guys right here, the Tillandsia baileyi. Okay? Another plant that needs to be grown in a region. You grow this in a garden, just spray it with the hose once a week, depending on how humid or conversely arid your climate is. And of course, the Taxodium mucronatum, another plant that needs to be propagated and grown excessively. All right, they're perfect for, so you got a wet area, they'll soak up the moisture. Wet area in Texas, you grow in a colder area, you need a more cold hardy plant like disticum. Taxodium disticum will do well in the colder areas. Taxodium mucronatum is not too frost hardy. You could probably grow it in Oklahoma, but maybe not much further north than that. And of course, here's another species of Tillandsia recurvata. Anybody who lives in Texas, in most of Texas, you know, from Fort Worth, Austin area on south, knows this ball moss, it's called, but it's actually related to pineapples. It's a Bromeliaceae. But again, nowhere near as impressive as some of those baileyi specimens that you might see in the canopies of the trees up there. Look at that mean-ass mimosa species. But look at how those fruits just break up. See how they just break up into little segments? That's kind of cute, isn't it? Huh? Look at those spines, though. Ugh. In between the nodes, feathery leaves, and then there's those tiny inflorescences. Probably 100 flowers in that little globe, in that little pink globe with all the stamens, and perhaps a few styles sticking out of it. Unripe little segmented beans. Not a common species in Texas. Only in South Texas here. And then before we sign off for today, before I punish you with any more Tillandsia porn, I just want to get a nice money shot of this beautiful Taxodium mucronatum. Looks like somebody's tagged it too. I don't know who did that, but you know, it looks like someone's keeping track. But look at that beautiful form to it. Oh, nice spiral with those roots. But again, no pneumatophores like you get on the bald cypress. None of those cypress knees. All right, you get this species goes on up in towards San Antonio, get on the Guadalupe River, goes west of San Antonio towards Uvalde County a little bit, goes towards Uvalde a little bit. I remember seeing some very fantastic stands on a little creek under Highway 90 west of Uvalde. Look at it, massive. It's not even doesn't get that tall. Pops out at maybe, what, 60 feet up there? But that trunk is something else. Look at that. Holy shit. That's nice. Quite an old tree probably too. These do grow fast as hell. You know, in 60 years you could probably get them this size in an environment where they're getting irrigation. But this is probably, I don't know, a couple hundred years old. Look at that, just the roots everywhere. Nice Tillandsia baileyi up there. No one's building McMansions around here anytime soon. We're maybe 6 city blocks from the border too. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Have a good rest of your afternoon. Go fuck yourself. Bye.